Heyo, everybody. Welcome, it's me. Wait, what's my intro again? Hold up. Heyo, everyone. It's me, Rachu, back at ya with another video. Finally, it's only been, what, 3 months? It's been a while. Basically lost motivation on my YouTube channel, thought I was gonna quit, but then I got a sudden burst of inspiration, so here I am. I'm really excited to be here, man. It's been so long. I miss you guys so much. So anyway, this video is gonna be a kind of different one. It's not super art related, it's not work related, but I kind of wanted to recount my stories about getting my driver's license, which I have now, by the way. I am 18 and I just got my license. Oh gee. Yeah, there's a story behind that, I promise, and we're gonna get into it. Before we get into that mess of, all of that, I do want to talk about the art on screen. So basically, like a long time ago, I had this idea for a video in which I draw myself as a magical girl. So, on the left, I'm currently like designing her clothing, and on the right, I'm doing the final product. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to give you some background on the art that's going by in this video. Anyway, enough about that. Let's get into the story. Okay, so picture a younger Rachu that had been driving for about a year, finally had enough hours under my belt to take my driver's test. And going into it, I was feeling kind of confident, honestly. Like, I was still extremely nervous because, like, of course I am. Like, this is, in my mind, this was my chance of either being an adult and being able to do things on my own and being independent, or if I failed it, it would mean that I was still a kid and that my parents would feel the burden of having to drive me everywhere, to school, to my work, which was like 3 or 4 times a week. So yeah, needless to say, I was feeling a lot of pressure going in. Like, not even from my parents. I was just so worried about being like a burden on my family and stuff that it was seriously getting to me. But anyway, so it is now the day of the test. I go in the morning, I roll up to the fancy DMV, in my car with my mom in the passenger seat, and I'm like freaking out the entire time, by the way. So we wait there a few minutes, kind of unsure of what to do, and then after, like 10 minutes or so, this older dude comes up to the car and he's like, "Hey, are you Rachu?" Except he said my real name, not Rachu. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's me, buddy. That's me. Let's get this over with, buddy." So he hops in the passenger seat, whatever. And then I realized this dude was probably like 60 years old. He gave off vibes of, I've been doing this for like 80 years and I want to retire now. And like, he just didn't give 2 craps. But that made him like super mean and strict. So anyway, I'm driving around, I come up to the first intersection, I take a stop, and he's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa there, you didn't see the crosswalk?" And I'm like, "Oh, I saw the crosswalk, I'm sorry." "You just rolled over the crosswalk." And I'm like, I'm sorry. So anyway, I'm freaking out more than I was before, because to the first intersection, I've already made a mistake. So I wait there for an obscene amount of time, looking left and right in the intersection. I was taking a right-hand turn, by the way. The dude is still chewing me out for driving over the crosswalk, and I think we're good to go, and I take the turn. Oh boy, it was not time to go, because suddenly a van, which I didn't see, is just to the left of me. And I'm like, oh, I pulled out in front of that red van. Oh my gosh. Yeah, safe to say, I failed I failed that test pretty bad. Here is a beautiful list of all the things I did wrong, because if I pull out in front of a car, that would mean 10 points off for failing to adequately observe. Driving into traffic, fails to yield the right of way. Like, all this stuff was sort of added on because of that one van. So yeah, I got my results at 6 o'clock at night, and I was crushed because I failed, obviously, and it was terrible. But it was all good because, my parents didn't mind driving me to work, and we rescheduled the test for a month later. The month passes and I am ready to go, at another morning with my car at the DMV. I feel like I'm about to puke, but it's fine. Anyway, the tester person comes to my car again, and I was so relieved to see that it wasn't the crusty old man. Literally, I was over the moon. Instead, it was probably about this 40-year-old woman, and I was super excited about that because like she seemed a whole lot more approachable than the other dude. So I'm feeling better about it this time. We get in the car, we start driving. Everything goes perfectly fine until the parallel parking, because she wanted me to park in between two cars, which I had never done before. And there was a pole right there, which I could have hit. That was like right next to the curb. Also, the car that was in front of me when I was parking was hers. So I freaked. I did a horrible job. I was crooked. I was like cutting into the lane to the left of me when there were other cars oncoming. No one was in danger, but it still cost me, passing. So at this point, I'm feeling really depressed. I failed 2 driver's tests that are supposed to be super easy, especially in the county that I live in. Like, it's literally known to be like the easiest place to take your road test. I feel so frustrated. I feel like a failure. I feel like a burden on my family because now they still have to drive me places. So, after that second road test, I sort of stopped trying for a little bit. Like, I didn't immediately schedule another one because I was just going to fail again, right? Like, what was the point in trying anymore? I was just going to fail again. And the cycle would continue where I get sadder and feel like less of a human being and failing and feeling crappy. If you couldn't tell by now, I had a horrible mental state about all this. Feeling, like I was less of a person if I didn't pass. And oh, by the way, despite being one of the first people in my friend group to get my permit, I was pretty much the only person in my friend group that didn't have a license at this time. So feeling terrible about that too. But after about a month or 2 after I took the second test, I decided to woman up and schedule another one for December 14th, 2021. I was not feeling good, not gonna lie. I get there at 2:15 to take my test, and this time I have a Honda with a backup camera, so you can bet that I use that backup camera for the parallel park. Anyway, I get there, I park in front of the DMV, and oh boy, guess who's back? It's a crusty boy. It's the 60-year-old man who wants to retire. So I was freaked out by that, but I didn't let it get to me. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna pass anyway. It's gonna be fine. Just do the best that you can. So I start to drive. I'm doing fine. I do the K-turn. I'm doing fine. The dude doesn't say anything. Like the last time, he was speaking like the entire time, telling me what I was messing up. But this time, he was pretty much silent. And I get to the parallel parking. The only thing he says to me is, oh, make sure you look in your blind spot, which I was doing, but like, I guess he wanted me to do it more. But yeah, I'm driving through town, literally barely a word, except for telling me where to turn. It felt really good, man. I'm not even gonna lie. We get back to the DMV, I pull over and, he gives me the card telling me that my results will be open on the website at 6 o'clock. I'm freaking out. My mom gets back in the car and I drive us to Wendy's to like kind of celebrate that it went well this time. And I tell her like, oh my gosh, the dude, I think I passed. Like, genuinely, I think this is the time. But at the same time, I literally did not dare get my hopes up, even though I did everything pretty much flawlessly. And doggone it, wouldn't you know, I passed it. Y'all, I have my license. I told you that at the beginning of the video, but now you know it and all the pains and troubles I went through. So, oh yeah, so I've been driving myself to work recently and it's been great because I can blast the radio and there's no one to judge me about like screaming in the car. And it's literally everything, best experience. And yeah, that's the end of the story. After 2 years of blood, sweat, and tears, I finally have my license at the age of 18. Whew. And with that, I want to wish all of you a happy 2022 because it is December 31st at 8 o'clock where I am currently at recording this. So, Happy New Year! I really hope 2022 is going to be a great year for you guys. And that's the end of this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!